Welcome back to the Daniel Thomas Show. I am Daniel, and this is Thomas.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate you guys being here. We wanted to tell you a little bit about us. First of all, Tom just celebrated his 30th wedding anniversary this last week, which is absolutely an amazing milestone.
Thank you.
You don't look that old to me.
It's an accomplishment. I was married at 10, so yeah.
Okay, which is good. And I have not been married 30 years, so I am single, and so hopefully the advice here will be a solid gold for you. Okay.
And let's not demean my partner Daniel's advice here. He has been married. He's been widowed. He has a lot of experience. There's some unfortunate things that have occurred in his life that we can all learn from, and we're here to share.
Send your cards and letters, ladies. No, okay. Anyways, let's get
ladies,
you have something for us today?
Ladies, I'll screen the cards and letters, so go ahead and send them.
Okay.
It's all good. But I do have something interesting today. This is an article from a marriage therapist group that did a study, and they were looking at the 7 traits or habits or experiences that couples have had that have made it. And what really creates success.
Well, what constitutes making it? Longevity, you think?
I think it's longevity is the way in which the article was written. So people that have been through hard times have stayed the course. Everybody deals with difficult times. Both Dan and I have lost parents. Dan's lost a significant other. Nothing in life is easy. I'm going to share with the audience, Dan, that you and I both have unfortunately lost businesses, so we've financially been in the gutter.
Absolutely.
And been back from the gutter.
But that is really that. We've talked about this in the past. It never identified me. I was always the same person, ethically and everything. It just was, going down for the count is something that I learned more from that than I ever did from being successful.
Correct.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
So
some of the best lessons in life come from the worst times that you go through.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely
take those with you. They're not, to Dan's point, they don't define you. They are just part of your experience, and you can move on from it. And that means if you've had a bad relationship, that kind of thing, that's okay. Don't say relationships are over because I had a bad one. Learn from it. Move forward.
Absolutely.
So this article goes into 7 things that they found marriages and relationships that had longevity dealt with.
Okay.
So first and foremost, they put the relationship first. Okay.
The other person's there, and you got to make them a priority.
Well, they're a priority, but also if you think about it, family. You have parents at some point in time. You have kids, etc. That relationship has to be the priority.
Mm-hmm.
So, understanding that there's boundaries with the families and how to navigate those.
Yeah.
So, that's a critical one.
That's good. What's number 2?
That you are actually attracted to them as a friend. That there's something in common, that you can hang out with them.
I have a friend that and they're just fighting all the time. I go, maybe it's time to end this, because you just don't even like each other. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And I think it's sad. You see this, unfortunately, but this is how she's always been. I'm like, then this is torturous, man, that you're doing this to yourself then. But that makes a lot of sense.
Because, at the end of the day, money, health, all these things change, but having a friendship with your spouse or your significant other is, that's going to go a long way.
Absolutely.
Because it's not always a sunny day. So, number 3, that they've actually experienced dark times in the relationship, but chose to stay and work through it. Not just,
takes time.
This is crappy, I'm out. That's,
I know a guy who got very ill and got a brain tumor. Yeah. And his wife said, I never signed up for this. We're getting divorced. And I immediately said, well, I'm done with your wife.
Correct.
Well, she wants me to live in the house. I'm like, what are you talking about? She wants you to divorce. She wants to get a divorce, split up the assets now because you may not live through this. Screw her. Yeah. Okay. And he really couldn't figure out, wouldn't come over for football games, wouldn't come over for dinner. I was done with it. I thought that was the worst trait ever. And my other friends were like, well, that has nothing to do with you. It's just, that's his deal. I'm like, I don't choose to be around people like that.
Well, but I mean, knowing what
You
you've
know what I
been
went through
through
with somebody with cancer.
with cancer and standing by their side till the very end and dealing with the aftermath, it is a commitment. And I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I wasn't at their wedding, but I know the verse, and it says, "Better, worse, sickness, and health."
Yes.
I'm sorry, you did sign up for this. So if you're not willing to, don't sign up for that. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not in, don't sign up for that, and that's okay. I mean, I think you would agree. If that's the level of commitment, great. Let me know now.
Yeah. What's next?
They let each other be themselves. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to change somebody, and you expect that they're not going to try and change you.
That goes back to my buddy that I just think is miserable, and Maggie is married to Maggie Von Nagster, and I'm like, you know, it's just terrible. It's just sad. But
you know, I would ask Nagy why did she marry him? You know, you got to start back at the roots. And here again, there's nothing wrong with therapy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. Get yourself straight so that your relationship can be straight.
People that won't do that, guys, understand this. There's therapy through church. You just don't want to have therapy through your family or your friends that are tainted and one-sided towards you, towards him, towards her, whatever. You want what I call a disinterested third party, going out and talking to somebody who you can say, does this make sense? It's the greatest thing ever, guys, for your relationship. It's also good for you personally if you want to go to therapy. It's fantastic.
Well, and I think you and I both, I mean, I will speak for myself. I've had a therapist in the past, and there have been times that they've said, no, you're off base. And it's like, okay, that's great. I'm paying you to tell, I know you've never heard that, but you know.
Yeah, no, I've never heard anybody tell me I'm wrong. The point is that a lot of people can't handle that. And Nagy Von Nagster was like, I'm not going to go and listen to you bag on me. I was like, dude, this is the sign of the time to go and get yourself an apartment and move on. Here's the threat. It's like, because as I look for a house, and it's like, well, if you get a guest house, could I come stay there? I said, I'll give you the code right now, you know? So.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, Nagy needs to take care of her stuff. He needs to have a therapist tell him flat out, because Dan is an interested third party. He's not a disinterested third party. Exactly. So please don't let your friends and your family be your therapist. That's what a therapist is for.
Right.
As I will tell you right now, if you're going to have brain surgery, you don't want Uncle Leo doing it.
Yeah.
Get a good brain surgeon.
What's the next one? What number are we at?
We are at number 5.
Okay.
Number 5 is really what we just hit on here. You have difficult conversations, but you work through them. You ask that person to help you understand in those conversations, but you have the difficult conversations. You don't just bury it under the sand.
This is longevity. This is in a relationship. This is time in where you're talking about things. You're talking about finances. You're talking about health. You're talking about, you know, pet peeves, what the other person does wrong. You know, I mean, that takes time. So it's great. All good ideas. All good.
And my favorite,
number 6,
and this happens in my household a lot.
It's not me, it's you.
They make light of your quirks. Okay,
that's okay.
It's fine. You can, if you're in that relationship where you can understand each other and you know that they're doing out of love, go for it. You know,
there's nothing wrong with that, guys.
No,
nothing. A lot of people don't have a thick skin. You notice that?
Well, you have to understand that if I'm going to take time to pick on you, that cost me too. I mean, I had to think about it. You know, it's like, no, this is so. To wrap this up, the big picture here is it's communication, it's commitment, and it's understanding that relationship from the first date to 30 years later, it's going to change. So you have to be prepared to have the conversations, to talk through things, to, you know, make light of your quirks, but also set those boundaries. I mean, you and I have probably not had this conversation, but we talk about it every once in a while. Thanksgiving. Who hosts Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh, this can be a huge family riff. And it's like, really? Thanksgiving dinner? Let them cook it. Eat some dry turkey. We can make another one tomorrow. It's like, don't die on these hills.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, number 7.
Number 7. They found out that they didn't write down number 7, so I have no frippin' clue what we're gonna.
That's funny. There's 7.
So there was 7. I'm gonna own it, guys. Joke about it.
Remember,
my quirk. I missed number 7.
It's not me. It's you. It's all your fault. That's always. And let's end it with that one.
At Daniel Thomas Show, it is
Don't
my
forget
fault.
to write us. Okay, that's funny.
That I've got it. I'm looking at my show notes, and I'm like, crap.
Okay. The fact that you have show notes is really, it really is impressive. It really is. Okay, guys, please email us at danielthomasshow@yahoo.com and
like, subscribe,
and
comments. Comments are
and
we
again,
love the comments.
Guys, solid gold. Everything you guys send us, and we appreciate it. If you want to be anonymous, it's fantastic. The stuff that you share with us, dating horror stories, the good, the bad. I met a guy, I thought he was great, but guess what? He's not now. Okay.
Right. So. Thank you for watching.
So what do you think? Was that a great episode?
Did you see the last episode? Really? This one? I don't know.